8 dead and more than 1 million displaced after super typhoon Fung-wong slams the Philippines. About 1.4 million people evacuated as storm sparks, flash floods, and landslides, and leaves millions without power. The super typhoon Fung-wong has blown through the Philippines, leaving at least 8 dead, 1.4 million people displaced, and widespread damage in its wake. More than 1.4 million people were evacuated across the country as the storm triggered flash flooding, storm surges, landslides, and gale-force winds, Philippine authorities said on Monday. Deadly mudslides had killed at least 6 people across the country, including 3 children, with others still missing. The biggest typhoon to threaten the Philippines in years, Fung-wong was forecast to cover 2/3 of the archipelago with its 1,118-mile wide, 1,800 kilometers band of rain and wind. In Pandan, Catanduanes province, one of the worst affected areas, footage and photos from disaster response authorities showed floodwaters rising to the rooftops and houses being washed away. At least 1 person was killed in flash flooding as civil defense workers rescued more than a dozen others. Our personnel rescued 14 people who were trapped on the roof of a house engulfed in flood in a low-lying neighborhood. Roberto Monterola, a disaster mitigation officer for Catanduanes, told the Associated Press. A father also called in panic, saying the roof of his house was about to be ripped off by the wind. We saved him and 4 relatives. At least 8 people have been confirmed dead by authorities as of Monday evening. In the northern province of Nueva Vizcaya, 3 children died in landslides and 4 others were injured, police told the Associated Press. An elderly person was killed in a mudslide in Barlig, a town in northern mountain province. Another landslide in Lubuagan, a town in nearby Calanga province, killed 2 people and 2 others were missing, provincial officials said late Monday. Earlier in the day, officials had reported 1 person drowned in the Catanduanes and another killed when her house collapsed on her in eastern Samar. The super typhoon was downgraded to a typhoon in the early hours of Monday morning as it crossed the Philippines' largest island, where the capital city is located. The storm's sustained wind speed had dropped from 115 miles per hour, 185 kilometers per hour, to 102 miles per hour. But gusts were still reaching more than 171 miles per hour, according to the State Weather Service, Pagasa. The storm system is expected to continue weakening as it moves north toward Taiwan. The National Disaster Response Service, NDRRMC, said it was still working to assess damage to infrastructure and homes. Almost 3 million people had been left without power on Monday, the National Electrification Administration said, after power lines were downed and grid infrastructure damaged. About 6,000 evacuation centers have been opened to temporarily house 92,000 families. Fung-wong battered the country just days after Typhoon Kalmaegi, which killed at least 224 people and left another 135 missing before moving on to Vietnam, where it killed 5. Searches for those still missing had to be suspended on Sunday due to safety concerns for rescue workers. Having a second typhoon hit so soon after Kalmaegi may have worsened the destruction, as torrential rain fell upon already soaked and destabilized soils. In northern Luzon, where mudslides killed a number of children, civil defense authorities said the ground had already been saturated by heavy rains. The climate crisis is making tropical storms and typhoons more intense and frequent. Fung-wong is the 21st typhoon to hit the Philippines in 2025.
Rasanya di manok na mo. Karon, nani sa highway. Bro, evacuate na mo sa mo, evacuate na mi sa mo.
Kalabo, pero nung kapit. Sinan dapit.